The Baltimore Ravens are 2-0. Is anyone suggesting day trade Lamar Jackson? This is RamView. Live from the Ram Cave, I'm Joe Terosian, and this is RamView, the September 18th, 2024 edition, brought to you by Kistler Law Firm. Injured in an auto accident, need help, got questions? Call Kistler Law at 661-206-6990. That's Kistler Law at 661-206-6990. And check out KistlerLawFirm.com. That's one word. KistlerLawFirm.com. Kistler Law, they've been fighting for you since 92. And by Temple City Auto Repair, having some auto issues, get yourself some John and Henry at TempleCityAutoRepair.com. And never have a zero on your fantasy team again. Download Benched, the app today. All right, so the latest buzz. I even got Steeler fan Rob contacted me. Rams are going to trade Stafford. I'm just going to go this way. Maybe I'll look bad in the end, but I don't think I'm going to. How stupid do you have to believe, one, anybody in the media on this? It looks like someone picked up something and everyone else speculated something because they needed something to talk about because Miami's in dire straits. But so are half the other teams in the NFL. Now, if the Rams did this crazy thing and traded Matthew Stafford, the fanboy in me is not going to take over. The fanboy in me is going to go away, and it would be a really stupid move. If you look how the Rams are built and you see how the Rams are built, they have got a 3-year window. They've built themselves into a 3-year window, and so it is kind of interesting to hear the media. It's because I think most of the media is lazy. I think Chase Daniel, for being so smart and making like over $40 million as a backup, sounded really stupid. Bryce Young, you'd bring in Bryce Young. And then Mina Kimes did herself no favors. She jumped in with her own thoughts as well. I think I saw a link on Ramblin' Ram Fan, which I respect those guys. But really, I don't know. And honestly, I don't think there's any inside information. I don't think Jordan Rodriguez leaked anything, buzz around the Rams that this is going to happen. It's 2 games. It's 2 games, right? So anyway, those are my thoughts. We'll get into this more. We'll let your thoughts develop as we go forward. The truth is here, I haven't lost hope. I know that seems really weird. And when you haven't lost hope, you can always find light and a way out of the gloom. It's an inherent flaw in me when it comes to something, someone, or some power I believe in. I'm always going to find a silver lining. That's why I can watch that Lion game in week 1 and say, the defense for the most part, except for the big play, gave up only 13 points, not counting what happened in overtime. When I watch the highlights from the game against the Cardinals or the lowlights, I look at a nice pass that was suspect on whether or not Marvin Harrison was in. I look at a busted play on a pass that maybe we go back and look at it. Maybe a lineman was downfield illegally. I look at missed tackles. I look at big plays. So I could see things in the positive, right? I can always see things in the positive with the Rams, the McSnead, the Stafford era. It's easy to see the positive. If this was Fisher, St. Louis, and there was some dream and dependency still that Tavon Austin was going to be something special, that could make me dour. Then I would get down, right? Then I might be all in on the trade. But when I played and when I coached my undermanned basketball teams, I used to love being discounted. You want to light a fire in me? Discount me, dismiss me, doubt me. It's like I've had a few people, most of you folks have been pretty nice. A few people call me a joke online here. They've taken a few shots at me. I'm not asking you to defend me or anything like that. But see, that's the kind of thing that kind of lights my fire. That's the kind of thing that lights my fire. I go back to a pickup basketball game I played in about 40 years ago. It's 4-on-4. You used to shoot for teams, first 4, next 4. And the 4 best guys on the floor got matched up against me and 3 other guys. And I remember as we lined up to take the outs, one player played for the team for Pasadena City College, and he laughed. He laughed at me, right? And he didn't take me seriously. And you know what happened? We kicked their butts. I just got really angry. Now, I didn't play stupid. I got focused. I don't want the Rams to play stupid. But you know what I really love to see with the Rams this week is I'd love to see the Rams play angry. Everybody is dismissing them, discounting them, doubting them. Play angry, right? And you're likely going to see a sea of red in SoFi. Play angry. Play like these guys are taking food out of the mouth of your children. I don't think this is a Jeff Fisher team where you know it's over. I don't think anything's over. I think we've seen some really weird stuff in the NFL this year, and the last thing I would do is give up on a season. And what do the Rams have to lose? Everyone else has given up on them already. So only the opportunity they may lose if they give up is the opportunity to deliver hurt on their arch rivals. Maybe you even lose the game, but you hurt them. You punish them so bad. You get so physical, they say, I don't want any more of that. And those arch rivals are going to be without Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey, right? They're not stopping the run real great, okay? They're having some issues with injuries themselves, as well as they're not playing to the best of their capabilities. And why not? Why not just go out there and throw everything at them? We're going to talk a little bit more about this. I'll give my prediction about the Rams and Frisco Friday. But if Stafford stays upright, this is the part that cracks me up, that the so-called experts that are paid to this, and I don't think any information is leaked out of Rams camp. Correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody has leaked something coming out of Rams camp, it's just speculation. And one person speculates, and then they all jump on it, right? But here's the thing. If Stafford stays upright, Rams win. If Stafford can stay upright, the Rams are going to beat the 49ers. If Stafford can get a chance to sling it, Frisco goes down. If the offensive line can establish the smallest form of a running game, Stafford's going to stay up, Stafford's going to sling it, and the Rams are going to beat Frisco. Now, that's a big ask, but that's a possibility. As of today, Alaric Jackson will be at left tackle. Last I saw, Logan Bruss will be at left guard. Center will be Bo Limmer. Right tackle will be Kevin Dotson. Right guard will be Kevin Dotson. Right tackle, Rob Havenstein. So the Rams will have 3 starters on the offensive line. At the low point of 2022, the Rams had 4 third stringers or lower starting with Havenstein. So we're not quite there yet. Also, again, a great quarterback, given time, can make any of these receivers look productive and good. Are they as good as Puka and Cooper? No, they're not. But they are NFL receivers, and I think given our coach and their quarterback being upright, damage can be done. So Justin Dedich is now part of the active roster, the UDFA out of USC. Panthers signed Russ Yeast. So long, Russ Yeast. I think he's reunited with Jordan Fuller. Rams cut Ty Neskey. Obviously, if you're not going to play a 38-year-old, you're not going to keep him on the roster. With Josh Carty's tender groin, the Rams have re-signed Tanner Brown for the 3rd time. Hopefully not. This guy gets into a game and kicks. Cardinals signed Jason Taylor to the practice squad, and the Rams have added Quindell Johnson and Quintus Cephas to the practice squad. Johnson is a DB. The Rams have had him around before, and Quintus Cephas is a wide receiver, formerly with the Lions. Also, former Ram Royce Freeman signed to the Browns practice squad. We're going to get more into Rams talk here in a second, but let's get around the NFL and other places. Starting with other places, really excited this Saturday. USC is at Michigan, and it's not the Rose Bowl. Trojans in the Big House, equal field. It's not, right? And if it was an equal field, I think USC would win this game by 2 possessions, 10 points at minimum. I think SC is that much better than what I saw in Michigan this year. Michigan's offense does not look good at all. But it's the Big House. And because it's the Big House, I think the game is going to be tight. Last time these teams met was in 2007. Last time these teams met in the regular season was at Michigan in the Big House in 1958, and the Wolverines won 20-19. The year before that, USC lost to Michigan at the Coliseum 16-6. 1957, they lost to Michigan. The Trojans have not lost to Michigan, though, since the Rose Bowl in 1989. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm excited about seeing this game. It should be a lot of fun. Bryce Young is hacked about being benched in Carolina for Andy Dalton. The kid just looks overwhelmed. You root for him because he's a good guy. I mean, we kind of saw him play when he was a freshman in high school at Cathedral. Not kind of, we did. here in LA, and he's benched and he's not happy. And I don't know. I just, he was just too small. He looks overwhelmed in the NFL, but there's a solution coming from the media. Package Matthew Stafford in a deal to the Dolphins in a 3-way trade so the Rams can get Bryce Young, and then that's the future. Yeah, okay. Kareem Hunt is signed to the Kansas City practice squad. Interesting considering his in. Dolphins, of course, put 2 on the IR, and they signed former Baltimore quarterback Tyler Huntley, former Utah quarterback, and they've released wide receiver Robbie Chosen. Texans have signed Kayvon Seymour, USC, but also, as when I worked at the mid, a star at Muir High School, Kayvon Seymour back in the NFL. Monday coming up, doubleheader in the NFL for Monday Night Football. Puke on that. Jaguars at Bills, Texans at Bengals. What I really hate about these games, that if you're going to do Monday Night Football, it should be Monday afternoon football followed by Monday Night Football. Because the truth is, I cannot stand, don't give me a score update. I want to watch both games. If they're going to play 2 games, I want to watch both games. But in the middle of, say, watching the first one, they're going to give you score updates of the second one until it's over. And that stuff really bugs me. I hate these things, can't stand them. But, of course, I'm going to watch. All right. And we'll get into the things here in a second, guys, about speculation about the Rams trading Matthew Stafford. I think it's a laugh out loud. I'm Joe Terosian. I was a sports writer for 21 years, and now I do RamView thanks to our sponsors at Kistler Law. I also write books. My book, Game Day in the Ram Cave, has gotten a couple of decent reviews, hey, it's written in classic Joe T style. Hey, it's a game. It's a novel about guys watching the Rams play, yelling at the screen, trying to get around away from the riffraff. You guys, a lot of you have bought this book. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. I'm also supported by Bench the app, which means if you're tired of losing fantasy because you forgot to check your lineup with Bench the app, that's a thing of the past. Bench is the only app that ensures you never leave a non-starting player in your lineup. Don't miss out on crucial points. Don't be the one who forgot to bench a player on game day. Win your league, keep your pride, deliver some spite, and let Benched handle the rest. Download Bench today and dominate your fantasy season. True story, guy was on his way to church on Sunday, and he lost Evan Ingram in his starting lineup with a hamstring. He didn't have Bench the app, and he got a big fat 0. So you might want to check out Benched the app. As you know, through the sponsors and writing books, doing RamView, it does support me in my day job. I am the pastor of a small church in Burbank Faith Nazarene. You can check us out right here on YouTube at Burbank Faith Virtual, burbankfaithvirtual.com, and as well as other places around social media. Okay, let's get to the questions. And here we go. Bill, hello, Joe. Do you see the Rams bringing back Kupp next year? I think if Kupp comes back, it's because he wants to come back. But I can see Kupp at some point very soon maybe calling it because he just can't stay healthy. And that wasn't, I know it was just a player fell on him. It wasn't that big of a deal, but these injuries seem to be mounting up with Kupp. I wouldn't be surprised that after this season, if he retires, if he just says, I've had enough. He's over 30 now, and he's made his money. He's exceeded all expectation, and his body's taking a beating. Steve Ramirez, what is Chase Daniels smoking? It's either Acapulco Gold or Michoacan. I think it's Michoacan, right? I don't know what he's smoking, right? Bill, so disappointed Rams didn't make more moves today. I wanted a wide receiver either by trade or pickup. I don't like the current group. I'm feeling confident about the current group. I think Stafford's a good enough quarterback, and I wouldn't trade for a receiver if the line's in disarray because it's not going to get us anything. But if we can keep Stafford upright, those receivers, I do believe, Bill, will work. Steve Ramirez, if the Rams are 0-7 going to the deadline, maybe I might even look to trading Jimmy G to Miami. That's the trade I'd make to Miami, while also trading for Young to see if McVay can fix him. But that's iffy. That's from Steve Ramirez, sports writer. I don't know. I wouldn't want anything to do with Bryce Young. I just wouldn't. Not that he's a bad person again, but if someone said, hey, we'll give you Bryce Young for a 6th round pick, okay, all right, I'll dance with that. Maybe he's got more upside than Stetson, but I'm not doing any kind of move with the thought that Bryce Young's going to be the future of the Rams. All right, Tim Burns, Rams 28, San Francisco 24. You've gotten off to a fast start, Mr. Burns. I want to hear you back up that prediction. Bill, the one weak spot on our line is center for this Sunday. Why not trade for a center and give yourself a chance this Sunday? I agree, Bill, but I don't think anyone's gonna give up a decent center. I just don't. You know, your left tackle and your center are key to everything. They're key to everything. Fortunately, Javon Hargrave and some of those other guys on the 49er front have gotten off to a bit of a slow start. Hopefully that continues, but we'll see, right? We'll see. Tim Burns, report talking, if it gets worse, a Stafford trade to Miami has come up as a possibility. Yeah, we've talked about that, and I don't see it. I think it's media speculation, right? And if the Rams did that and the return included something about Bryce Young, I would literally say it was one of the dumbest trades in Ram history. I think it would be a really bad trade. I'm not fanboy enough to overlook that. DJ Fono, Rams house, don't lose faith. I agree. Keep Stafford upright and see what happens. SM, Chase Daniel thinks the Louisiana purchase was a fair deal. Hey, yeah. I mean, that's what we would be selling instead of getting a nickel an acre, getting Louisiana and the whole territory for a nickel an acre. We'd be selling Matthew Stafford for a nickel a pound. This is a Super Bowl winning quarterback who can still throw the ball. This is a guy that can still play. And there's just no one in the draft right now you're going to be able to take, and there's no one around the league you're going to be able to get at this point that somebody's going to give up that's going to keep you relevant. You trade Stafford, you better be in the business of, one, moving Kupp, getting off of Kupp. You better be in the business of, guess what? Let's trade Nakua while he's high, because you're not going to be competing for the next 3 years. You're not going to get a quarterback in here. What made the pivot from 2021 through the injury-riddled 2022 to back to a playoff team in 2023 was the fact you had an NFL Hall of Fame type quarterback. And the Rams aren't going to get it this time if they get rid of Matthew Stafford, and Stafford is still performing at a high level. All right, let's see. Tim Burns, McVay looked depressed in the presser. Body language was unusual for him. Yeah, I think what he's seeing is a team that could have won 13 games this year, going to be hard pressed getting to 9. At this point, we don't know, and things can change. Let's see here. Tim Burns, I predict the Ravens go 0-3. What a desperate game for both teams, huh? Is that Ravens-Cowboys? What a desperate game for those teams. The buzz around Lamar is good. Why isn't anyone talking about trading Lamar, right? Will they talk about trading Lamar if they're 0-3, right? The Ravens have offensive line issues. The Ravens haven't even won a Super Bowl. Ravens haven't even been to a Super Bowl. How many playoff games have they won with Lamar? Why aren't they talking about trading Lamar? Anyway, and then you get the good news with the Cowboys. They lose. You get to hear about all the firing and Jerry Jones stroking out. SM, Bryce Young's trade value is a 6th or 7th pick swap. I agree at this point. I absolutely agree. Tim Burns, who was cuter, Caitlin Clark or Cam Brink? It's nice to see women in the WNBA for a change. I thought you were going to say, ¿Quién es más macho? Caitlin Clark or Cameron Brink, right? Who's more macho? I guess, yeah, they look more feminine, put it that way. I guess they do. Tim Burns, 8-8 last week, 19-13 overall. Saints are for real. Okay, that was a big win in Dallas for the Saints, Mr. Burns. I don't know if I want to go there completely. Just not yet, right? I'm going to heed the words of the wolf there. Tim Burns, all in love for Stoops. Willie Bowen, what's up, SM? Bryce Young is John Wolford. Ooh, that is harsh. Those fighting words, right? That means somebody's going to come out and want to fight when you say that. Bryce Young is John Wolford. SM, I would have preferred trading for Justin Fields, but he's in Pittsburgh now. Ooh, no, keep it away. Justin Fields is fool's gold right now. He's averaging 5 yards an attempt. They are protecting him. As I said, they're protecting him like the DNC's protecting Kamala from interviews. You do not want Justin Fields. If Herbert was healthy, I would definitely take the Chargers. I haven't made my predictions for Sunday yet. Those will come out on Friday. But if Justin Fields is healthy, Steelers are going down. I'm sorry, Justin Herbert is healthy. Steelers are going down. We haven't seen Justin Fields have to catch up. If somehow Justin Herbert strikes couple things happen and the Steelers go down by 14 or 10 points. Well, what do we see with Justin Fields? All right. What do we see with him? Let's see here. Willie Bowen talking to his friends. So glad to provide that. DJ Fono. Imagine Niners lost again, Sam Darnold, and this weekend against Jimmy G. That would be funny. That would be funny, but I don't want to see Jimmy G play, right? We don't want to see Jimmy G play. Okay, guys, let's keep rolling on here. We'll get back to more of this. We're going to take a quick look at the 49er Ram game. Not necessarily give the prediction, but break it down. USC, I got them number 1 in my college football report. They're going to the big house. It's a big, big house. Miami, these are only the teams I've seen play. I'm not rating Ohio State because I haven't seen an Ohio State game because they're not playing anybody, right? They're playing Marshall this week, right? At some point, come on, right? Miami's going to South Florida. Texas is hosting Louisiana Monroe. I think Texas might be better than USC, but outside of Michigan, a down Michigan team, I mean, they're playing Louisiana Monroe. Next week, it's the Sisters of Mercy, right? Come on. It's like Texas being this high is like if they played UCLA. It doesn't mean anything. Oh, speaking of UCLA, they're going to Baton Rouge. They're going to the Bayou to play LSU this week. Yeah, I think LSU, maybe some LSU fans that's bitter might want some of that fool's gold that UCLA took a few years ago when they beat LSU at the Rose Bowl. Yeah, I think that's going to be a bloodletting. Penn State off to a shaky start, hosts Kent State. Missouri is hosting Vanderbilt. Then we got Oregon at number 7, Cal at number 8. Cal is heading to Tallahassee. Cal going to Auburn and winning. Cal going to Tallahassee and likely winning. At number 9, I got Boston College. Number 10, Nebraska, hosting the Fighting Illini on Friday night. And I don't like that. I wish these colleges would stay off of Friday night, leave the Friday night lights to the high school kids. Play on Thursday, but protect Friday. Come on, give me a break. All right. Initial nominees for the NFL Hall of Fame came out, 167 of them. I won't go through. On the list, Torrey Holt, Steven Jackson, London Fletcher. I think London Fletcher is a Hall of Famer. But also on the list is Mark Bulger. I thought that was kind of interesting. Aqib Talib is on that list as well. And several other people. But still, I think it's going to be a long road for Holt because there's a glut at receiver. If they're looking at a running back, Jackson should be right there. But the Rams didn't win with Jackson. And then again, overlooked maybe because he was short, overlooked because they got their version in there already, smaller linebackers. London Fletcher is a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. I just think he's a Hall of Famer. Looking at the Rams and the IR and everything going on, the Rams did not put Cooper Kupp on the IR, which some of that can be looked at as good news. He didn't go on the IR, but also several sites hit it. I wasn't aware of how many, but I found out today you can only bring 8 players back from the injured reserve during the course of the year. Right now, the Rams officially have Puka Nacua, Steve Avila, Joe Noteboom, Darius Williams, John Johnson, Jonah Jackson, Laurel Murchison, and I think is it KT Levinson that's on there? I think KT Leviston. All of them are designated to return. Darian Kendrick, Trey Tomlinson, they're gone for the year. Connor Dermott is on there. We're not worried about him. And Tyler Higbee's on the PUP list. So the idea is that there might not be room to bring Kupp back if you do put him on the IR. And so the Rams are just going to try to play this out. But maybe also, just maybe it's a 3-week deal, with Kupp and not a full 4-week deal. Plus, we've got the bye coming up. Josh Carty has the sensitive groin right now. Tanner Brown's been signed. Davis Allen, his back. Haven't seen an injury report this week. I guess we get one tomorrow. And then Quentin Lake last week was dealing with the hip. So there's just a ton of stuff here that have happened to the Rams, and a lot of stuff there. Let's see what we got here with questions before we move on. Here we go. Let's see. Tim Powers, Stafford will command the offense this Sunday. They will follow his leadership to defeat the 49ers. Now, Mr. Powers, are you being a fanboy or are you agreeing with my argument? If the Rams find a way to keep him upright, they beat the 49ers. If he has a clean pocket or just enough of a clean pocket to go downfield, do you believe the Rams have enough to beat the 49ers in a shootout? Just throwing it out there. Thomas Wilson, if the Rams can get their running game going, anything is possible. I agree. They ran the ball against a better defense against Detroit, Mr. Wilson. They did. They ran the ball against a better defense in Detroit. Now, I think they made the Cardinals look 10 times better than they did, and they all played horrible against the run. Havenstein all across to McClendon, Limmer, Jackson, and Dotson. They all were horrible in advancing the run, and I got to believe that's a one-off. And Frisco has struggled stopping the run just a little bit this year. Steeler fan Rob in Missouri, the media has been talking about us trading Russell Wilson to Miami. Don't see where they come up with this stuff. But you see, that makes more – I don't know. Maybe they're making it up too, Steeler fan Rob. I'm not arguing with you there. But that kind of is somewhere in the realm of possibility, right? At least somewhere in the realm of possibility, right? Bryce Young getting traded to Miami, somewhere in the realm. Mac Jones getting traded to Miami, somewhere in the realm of possibility. But I don't see a three-way deal where the Rams go, ooh, cool, we got Bryce Young, right? Help me, right? Help me. I think you're going to need Russell Wilson, Mr. Sorge, before the season is over. SM, do you think the Rams draft a quarterback next year? I think, I don't know if they're going to be in a position. Well, depends how this year plays out. It's not a deep quarterback draft, but I would say so. I would think so. If everything holds on with Stafford, I would see him 2 more years after this. I could see him 25 and 26, and then it's time to press on. But you got to put somebody in development. And wouldn't it be nice to have a talented quarterback in development for a few years with them? We know Stetson Bennett's never going to be really a starter in this league. Maybe he develops into a competent backup. And of course, Jimmy G's not a long-term answer. But I think they should draft a quarterback. They really should. And then draft another one the next year, drafting one the year after that, and keep developing them and seeing what you got. Tim Bird, it's nice to see SDSU going Pac-12 along with 3 other Mountain West schools is probable. Has that come down? Has that been finalized, officialized, and all that kind of stuff? I did not know that was official yet. If it's official, I think it's great. Steve Ramirez, TV networks, Joe. Schools will play at 8 a.m. or midnight if the network's told them to. There you go. I agree with you. Talking about Friday night college football. I agree. Opinion. White's play so far is ugly, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm lost on White. Help me out here. My mind's firing in few different thoughts here. Tell me which White are you talking about, Mr. Burns? DJ Fona. Rams should go after Jamar Chase. Rumors he's not interested in renegotiating with the Bengals. Yeah, I heard he wanted to shut it down. He wanted to shut down negotiations and stuff. That'd be interesting to see. I don't see the Rams with Puka and Kupp next year and then finding a spot for Jamar Chase. I don't see that. Again, I could see Kupp, the injuries accumulating and Kupp retiring. Is Akello playing this week? Because right now he's on the practice squad. So I don't know. We'll see. But as of right now, he's on the practice squad. All right, Rams got the 49ers this week. 49ers are projected to be 11-5 this year. They were they were projected to win 11.5 games this year. Last year, they went 12-5. I don't think they're as good a team. They've got still on their schedule. They got the Bears, the Lions, the Chiefs, the Patriots still on their schedule. They got the Packers. Dolphins now is kind of iffy, and the Bills. So 49ers have a tough schedule. They do have a schedule that will require some work. Right now, Deebo Samuel is out. Ricky Pearsall is out. Christian McCaffrey is out. Elijah Mitchell is gone for the year. John Feliciano, their starting right guard, is gone. And Dre Greenlaw is still on the PUP list. So Brandon Allen is the backup to Brock Purdy. Josh Dobbs, we know that. Brock Purdy, people are always downing him. But, again, I say it over and over again. No one's really commented here when I say it. It wasn't Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was not the reason the 49ers lost the Super Bowl. I lay that right on Kyle Shanahan getting out-coached by Andy Reid down the stretch. And, of course, they tried to lay that on Steve Wilkes. So, I think Brock Purdy's capable of winning games when things aren't perfect. He basically didn't have a tight end last year in the Super Bowl because George Kittle was gone. But George Kittle, a little banged up last week. had to get hydrated. He's healthy. Jordan Mason is at running back, and he's running like a beast, but there might be some depth issues behind him. And so I think there's opportunity there. He's going to run hard, and Rams got to hit hard. That's why the Rams got to play angry. Brandon Ayuk at wide receiver, Jawan Jennings at wide receiver, and then is it Cowan, the Arizona kid? They're hurting a little bit. Ronnie Bell, the former Michigan guy, they're hurting a little bit at receiver, and I've never been a big Ayuk fan, and Ayuk's off to a slow start. You got Trent Williams at left tackle. Actually, these guys struggled a little bit last year, but this year they played pretty good. Trent Williams is always good. Aaron Banks at left guard, Jake Brendel at center. Dominic Pooney, he's a third-round pick out of K-State. Was it K-State or Kansas? He played really well week 1 against the Jets. Last week, he was lousy against the Vikes. He's the right guard, and Colton McKivitz. And so there's opportunity here. Colton McKivitz is actually playing fairly well, but Rams have an opportunity here to redeem themselves a little bit. And then on defense, Bosa is playing well, but Leonard Floyd is not. Leonard Floyd's had some struggles early. Javon Hargrave, Malik Collins anchoring the front line there. They're not playing well as of this point. Fred Warner is playing off the charts. Devondre Campbell is okay. And, of course, Greenlaw is still gone. Chavarius Ward, Diamondor Lenore, they're not anything to write home about. Hafanga, Taliano Hafanga has yet to play this season. And Jair Brown had a solid rookie season last year out of Penn State, third-round pick for the 49ers, but he's struggling right now in coverage. And so, again, I don't know who it was there. I think it was SM talking about get a little bit of a running game going, keep Stafford upright, and this defense can be torched. It can be. It can be. And I know you want Kupp there. We all want him there. You know we want Puka there. We don't want him there. But DeMarcus can catch the ball. Tyler Johnson can catch the ball. And if you're looking for the big play, maybe Whittington and Tutu Atwell can give it to you. The guy that I'm kind of curious about, I know Mr. Burns is always talking about Drake Stoops. I kind of want to see Xavier Smith sooner or later here. I want to see Xavier Smith. Let's take a look at a couple more questions here before we move into the week. Let's see here. Tre'Davious White's play is poor in my opinion. Thank you for mentioning that, Mr. Burns. He's given up some big plays, and he's a step above horrible right now, step above bad. So there's a lot of room for him to grow. And he himself is coming back after a lot of inactivity these last 2 years. So hopefully he gets himself straight. DJ Fono, are you talking to me, DJ? Am I going to the game? No, man, I'm not going to the game. If I was in the press box, I'd go to the game, but I've been spoiled. Once you go to the press box, man, I can't sit with dance cam, kiss cam, people just getting up and down all the time in a timed event and always blocking my view and all the fighting and everything. Best seat in the house is the Ram Cave. Oh, yeah. Best seat in the house is the Ram Cave. All right, let's look around here. Tomorrow, Jets and Patriots play. Pats are getting a lot of clicks out of their defense, but the Jets are at home. And, the easy play here was me think Aaron and them are going to get going here, but the Jets defense has a lot of injuries right now. Mosley's hurt. Johnson's hurt. I'm thinking Patriots. And I was bad on the Patriots, right? And I've been bad this year picking, but I was hard on the Patriots in August. And so this is hard for me to say. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to go Patriots over the Jets. Giants and Browns, I don't want to see that game, but Cleveland has just enough. If they can win in Jacksonville, they can beat the Giants. Bears, Colts. I want to see the Colts win. I am surprised the Colts did not win in Green Bay. They've got injuries right now. Buckner's on the IR. I think he's on the IR. He's hurt. It's time for Anthony Richardson to step up a little bit. What I want most of all is I don't care if the Bears win, but if they win the way they won against the Titans, that's okay. What I want the Bears to have is zero confidence in week 4. If the Rams can somehow, from my lips to the football gods, if the Rams can somehow sneak a victory against the 49ers, then go to Chicago to play a team that maybe is a bit downcast and pull off another win, the Rams could be 2-2 and the season suddenly drifts back into the place where it is salvageable, and the Rams are playing with a lot of spite, right? And they're angry and being written off, and there will be a lot of heck to pay. That Bear game has some bearing on the Rams, I think. And so go Colts. Demoralize the Bears. Put Matt Eberflus on the hot seat. Eagles Saints 2 weeks ago, I'd have said Philly 5 times out of 5. I would have said Philly. After watching Philly the other night, yeah, I'm going Saints. I'm going Saints in this one and seeing if they're for real. Texans, Vikings. Now, this is a game to see. If you're not going to watch the Ram game, I want to see this game. But I'm going with Houston. CJ Stroud's the best athlete to play with the helmet in Houston since Jonathan E. So I like the Texans in that game. Broncos, Buccaneers. I like Baker by a dozen or more. You got to think people at some point, however, are going to start asking Sean Payton, when is this thing going to get on track, right? You hear about how great of a coach Sean Payton is, right? Let's remember he won his Super Bowl in 2009, right? And all the big games to get back to that ultimate big game, they always came up short, right? And I'm just wondering at some point, what happens if Sean Payton isn't who Colin Cowherd says he is and who everyone thinks he is? Maybe he's a good evaluator of talent, but I don't know. Are the Bronco fans willing to say, okay, let's just wait another year, let's go 6-11, and we'll be okay because Bo Nix will be ready to rumble next year, and we'll be, have better salary cap position. I'm just kind of curious. When are people going to start asking, hey, Sean, when are we going to see something more here? Packers, Titans. Jordan Love was at practice. I saw highlights of him practicing today. That's a bummer because I wanted him out against the Rams. But Jordan Love is back, and I can't imagine the Packers losing to the Titans right now. I just can't imagine losing to the Titans. Panthers, Raiders. This is the kind of game the Raiders always drop after winning a big one, right? Go through all their coaching cycles, except for maybe Bisaccia. Go through Josh McDaniel, John Gruden, whoever the coach is. This is the loss. This is what happens. Raiders win a big game. They get their fans all excited, and then they drop a game they should win. And now they're playing the Panthers in Vegas. Andy Dalton's at quarterback. A lot of book on Andy Dalton, a lot of film on Andy Dalton. They have an opportunity, right? They have an opportunity. Can Antonio Pierce break the cycle? I tell you, if I was a Raider fan and they lost this game, my heart would break. I would just be weeping, right? Because, it's always the same thing over and over again. Dolphins at Seahawks, Skylar Thompson against Geno Clark. Yeah, or Geno Smith. I'm going with Geno Smith. Seattle goes 3-0. Lions and Cardinals. Detroit needs to win. They have to win. I think they're going to win. They need to come back and make a statement because I think they were a bit embarrassed last week. Ravens, Cowboys, how I said, whoever loses this game is going to make a great story. He's going to make a great story because I think there's times if the Ravens start off 0-3, why can't we start questions about Lamar Jackson? Why can't we say, hey, maybe we should shake things up in Baltimore? Why wouldn't Chase Daniels say that? Why wouldn't Mina Kimes say that, right? Why wouldn't somebody else come out and say, well, they're 0-3. It's not working. The offensive line is blah, blah, blah. Why can't they do a rebuild in Baltimore? Why does it always have to be the Rams and Matthew Stafford? Rams 49ers, I believe Boley, make the big tall wish. Chiefs Falcons, suddenly this game looks interesting, but I'm going Chiefs. And then Monday night, what a drag, a doubleheader. I don't need it. Jaguars at Bills. Jags really need this game because I think the Sharks are starting to circle there. But the Bills have an opportunity to make a statement in the AFC that we're not done, we're not gone. Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs can go, but we're still here. We got a running game, and Josh Allen is a great quarterback. So that'll be an interesting game. I like the Bills. Texans at Bengals. Hey, Jaden Daniels might not be tearing it up exactly on the football field in terms of wins, but I've got him as a backup on a couple of fantasy teams. The dude's racking up points, so I'm kind of pro Jaden all of a sudden. But Texans at Bengals, the Bengals have to win this game, right? They're 0-2, so they have to win it. But I'm so sick of hearing everyone tell me how great Joe Burrow is, how great the Bengals are. Oh, we're built to beat KC. I keep hearing about it, and I don't see any of it. So let's see it, and then we can get back on track here. But I'll go Bengals over the Taxkins. But if Cincy loses, can we start speaking truth about this squad? Can we start preaching doom and gloom? If Cincy loses, if they're 0-3, you got Pittsburgh, which Steeler fan Rob wants me to say it, and I'll say it. They're not a joke defensively. They're not a joke. You got Baltimore, who I give a hard time to, but they're not a joke. You got the Browns. They're not a joke, except at quarterback, but they're not a joke. What if Cincy really I think you got to keep an eye on Cincy here. They need this win. If they fiddle with the Taxkins, that's not going to be good. That's going to be really bad mojo there. Let's see here. Omar Spates needs to play. Manny, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't know if breaking him in against Frisco and Kyle Shanahan, who will see that and exploit it's the game to do it, but I'm not going to argue with you. Brian B., it seems we're all down heading into Sunday's game against the 49ers, but a win will change everything, but a loss will be horrible. Well, again, that's kind of where we were, Brian. You know, you could probably rewind and see where we were. I don't know when you signed on, but the truth is everyone has written off the Rams. So the Rams have nothing to lose here, and they have a chance to deliver some spite and some hurt, right? They can play like, hey, we got a chance right now to knock a team out of the playoffs. We got a chance to play spoiler, right? And if they can deliver some wood, deliver some punishment to the 49ers, and then you get maybe Chicago next week that's still kind of in the cloud, suddenly the Rams could be 2-2. It starts here in Frisco. Of course, we're not going to overlook Frisco, but it's not over. You keep Stafford upright, Rams win this game. Keep Stafford upright, because I will still take, because I'm not a Brandon Ayuk fan, I will still take Demarcus Robinson, Tyler Johnson. I'll take Jordan Whittington. I'll take Tutu Atwell before I take Brandon Ayuk. I don't believe in Brandon Ayuk. I think he's a good receiver, but he's not a factor. He's not a game changer. And I think the Rams are going to have their way with him. Now, DeJuan Jennings, that guy scares me a little bit more. Because he's a guy that does make plays. And I know that might sound really ignorant, but I'm just not an overwhelming fanboy of Brandon Ayuk. I think the Rams have a shot. USA expat, play angry combined with that youthful energy and excitement. Absolutely. I got to believe against Brock Purdy, a little bit less of an athlete. This isn't a shot at Purdy. I got to believe those some of those sacks that Jared Verse missed out on with Kyler Murray, he's not going to miss out on Brock Purdy. I just do. And I think the Rams are showing the ability to get back there in the backfield. They're not necessarily showing the ability to finish. The guys I'm worried about, I'll be telling what that's why I still say shootout. What's bothering me most is Bobby Brown needs to man up, man. I mean, this is his career he's playing for. And average 1 week, terrible next. This is his contract year. Come on, Bobby Brown. My goodness, you're going against Jake Brendel, Aaron Banks. You're going up against a rookie named Dominic Puny. You have an opportunity to make noise. Bobby Brown, wake up. Tyler Davis was inactive last week. That one was interesting. And then, of course, we got DeJuan Johnson. But he's not the heavy guy. The heavy guy is Bobby Brown. And he really needs to put on an Ashawn Robinson jersey or something and mindset, right? You know, Ashawn Robinson didn't show up every week, but when it was important, he kind of showed up, especially in the Super Bowl. You know, we need some Ashawn Robinson out of Bobby Brown. We need to stop that run. Manuel Correa, if our linebackers were better, the D-line would be better. I think our D-line exposes our linebackers. Does that make sense? Did I say that right? Our D-line is asking our linebackers to do more, and Ernest Jones isn't there. Now, everyone's really down on the Rams on the Ernest Jones trade. And right now, at this moment, it doesn't look great. He played 27 snaps in week 1, and you're like, 27 snaps, okay, he's getting familiar. Last week, he played the full game, and he had a really good game, Ernest Jones. And so, so it's tough. Tim Burns, refs kind of kept Peyton out of another Super Bowl, much to my happiness. You're going back to the Nickel Roby-Coleman play? The Saints got the ball first in overtime. Doesn't everybody tell us that when you get the ball first in overtime that you're supposed to win? right? That's why they had to change the rules, right? Because whoever gets the ball first in overtime wins. They got the ball first. Dante Fowler messed things up. JJ got the pick, and Greg the Leg put the dagger in. I'm sorry. They had every chance to win that game. Also, let's talk about some of the penalties that went against the Rams in that game. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. Sean Payton, get out of town. SM, Jordan Whittington's time to shine. Absolutely. Only problem is he's not going against guys that are going to be unemployed a few weeks later that he played against in August. He's going to be playing against some better players, but we got to see if he can step up. It is his time to shine. Also, it is time for Tutu. Contract year to force the issue. Manuel Correa, we need to get a new strength and conditioning coach. Last 3 years been bad. Last year wasn't so bad. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is, why these injuries happen. But I'll tell you this, I got to call my friend Stan, is maybe we could all call Stan. You're one of the richest owners in the NFL. You got a glass ceiling so light can come through. With all the technology we have nowadays, how come the Rams aren't playing on grass? And it would really make me sick if we're not playing on grass because it's all about keeping the venue filled with concerts and everything. Hey, man, the Rams are the star tenant. You want to put grass in there so it makes it a little bit easier on your players, right? Stan, can you do that and gain my respect and get rid of that carpet? Put some grass there. I think that'll help. Evan Hotz, Joe, what do you think are the key matchups for the Rams and the 49ers? Just talked about it. Bobby Brown, that defensive line, making some semblance of a stand against the 49ers running game. And the other aspect of it is Alaric Jackson being back, matching up with Bosa coming off the left side. The thing for Havenstein is Floyd, he's probably played against in practice several times, obviously for many years. Floyd's not playing super well right now. Now he'll be motivated being back in LA, but it's keeping Bosa at bay and giving Stafford time. And again, Stafford has time. Rams are going to take this game. Tim Burns, Verse missed a lot, but still had 3 tackles for us. He did. Think if he had finished a couple of those plays, right? If he had finished a couple of those plays, I think we're on the road here with Verse. I think Fisk has a little bit more to go, but with Verse here, I think we're about to see a breakthrough here. I mean, am I wrong on that? Am I misreading that? Don't you get a sense of that we're starting to see a breakthrough with that? Manuel Correa, Raiders Stadium has grass, yeah, and I think so does the Cardinals too, doesn't it? I think the Cardinal Stadium does too. SM, I want to see Cam Curl make some plays. Amen. Preach. I think it is time for Cam Curl to step up in that secondary. I'm not saying he's horrible, but I am expecting a little bit more. He does need to step up. Absolutely, Cam Curl needs to step up. Yeah, that's an absolute thing that needs to happen here. Let's see. Looking back on who should be back soon, Nakua and Avila, even though their 4 weeks are up at the bye and they should be able for week 7, the word that we're hearing, that you're kind of hearing the buzz, is not to necessarily count on them necessarily being back in that week 7 game. Rams have a bye in week 6. The word is it could be extended. Noteboom should be back. Darius Williams should be back really soon. And that'll give the Rams more depth. And I don't know how that plays out for Akilla Witherspoon, but that should give the Rams more depth. John Johnson fractured scapula. Jonah Jackson, I think that pushes them to week 8 if they do make it back then. Laurel Murchison is interesting, and KT Leviston, I'm not sure. Again, biggest game as of right now, the last depth chart I saw, and I'll take correction if any of you guys got it. Maybe it changes by Friday afternoon. But Logan Bruss is slated into the left guard spot. Now, during the summer, he played right guard. And I think in 2022, he played right guard before he got hurt. I don't know how much left guard he's played, but this is a big one for Logan Bruss, right? This is a huge game for Logan Bruss. If he, again, the bad side of this, keep Stafford upright, Well, Alaric Jackson's going against Joey Bosa, okay, or Nick Bosa. I'm sorry, and then you're kind of counting on Bo Limmer and Logan Bruss protecting Stafford up the middle. That one, yeah, that one can feel. That one feels a little. That's going to be awkward. That's really going to be the test right there. Havenstein is going to be familiar with Leonard Floyd off the edge on his side, and I think that's okay. But we're going to see. We're going to find out if Logan Bruss has a future. If Logan Bruss gives the Rams, 60 snaps and a PFF grade of 69 to 70, 68 to 70 or more, then I think we've got something in Logan Bruss, and we're not fretting too much. But yeah, those are big issues there. And of course, Darian Kendrick, Trey Tomlinson, they're gone for the year. And then you got to think about it as we go deeper into the season now, because we're already at week 3. We're pretty soon, in probably another month, we're going to be hearing more about Tyler Higbee's condition. Now, I don't know if Tyler Higbee's a game changer, but with Davis Allen having a little bit of a back issue, that is something else. SM, bye week can't get here quick enough. Absolutely. I'm looking at this right here, the Rams schedule. They've got who is it here? I'm sorry for a second here, guys. Bye week is week 6, and then they got the Packers in week 5. That's the one that's interesting to me, because I thought Jordan Love might still be out, but I think it's possible if the Rams can steal this game. And I know we're reaching here a little bit, but if the Rams can steal this game, get Chicago while its head's still in disarray, that means they're 2-2. And week 5, you're playing Green Bay, but you're playing Green Bay in LA. Finally getting Green Bay here. And by week 5, I think we'll have Darius Williams back. And so week 5, is Jordan Love going to be back? We're going to find out, right? I got to imagine if I'm the Packers, I'm not playing Jordan Love against the Tennessee Titans. Why risk him? They should beat the Titans without needing Jordan Love. But then in week 4, they're going to have somebody else. I think they're going to be playing the Vikings in week 4 at home, and they might need Jordan Love for that. And so we'll see if he's playing against the Rams in week 5. Can the Rams? Now, the Packers have a good running game. They've displayed a good running game this year. What's going to happen? If the Rams can find a way to stop the 49er running game, can they find a way to stop the Packers running game? So 2-2 is a possibility. 3-2. Could you imagine being 3-2 after this start, going into the bye week? Could you imagine being 3-2? So where do we get the idea that this is over? I just don't. I think we got a lot of the KBM, Kiss Butt Media, needing a topic. They need to, and they all glom onto each other, acting like it's an original thing, and it's not. And this is something I always go back to with you guys: is your opinions are valid. What you see with your eyes are legit. If you follow football, you invest in football, write a good football book once in a while. You know what you see, and don't defer yourself from what you see to what the media says all the time. Now, there's times absolutely they're right. Jordan Rodriguez, she's good. She's in the room. And if they're in the room, okay, I got to listen to that and weigh it in. But you don't have to surrender your wisdom. You don't have to surrender your experience, your knowledge, just because somebody else says it. I've worked with a lot of dumb people, okay? I've sat next to dumb people, and they don't appreciate the opportunity they have, and they don't work hard enough. And I'm not talking about Mid-Valley guys, and I'm not talking about local competition. I'm talking about guys that you sit in the press box with. It's like they don't want to be there. It's like, how could you not want to be here? And they're always complaining, and their assertions are lazy. Not all of them, but they can be. So you don't have to give over to all this hype and fear. Anyway, there we go. USA Expat turnaround starts with fantastic opener crowd. Last I heard, there's going to be a lot of Frisco guys there. USA Expat. Last I heard, there's going to be a lot of guys, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of red in SoFi. SM Mina Kimes works for the Rams in the preseason and said they should trade Stafford to the Raiders. Laugh out loud. Should be her last preseason with the Rams. Yeah, Mina Kimes has gotten a much more vocal and plus she always gets butt hurt pretty quick. And she's got much more vocal the last year or so on social issues and everything. I thought the first couple of years I saw her, heard her, I thought she kind of made sense. I thought she was okay. I thought she was pretty good. She's got her own show now, right? Does she have her own show? And I don't know if that's what it is or whatever, but I thought she's made some stupid takes, some stupid analysis. And I thought this year in the booth with the Rams, I thought she just kept talking and talking and talking. And it's like, I kind of want to hear what Whitworth has to say. And so, I've kind of soured on her a little bit. Kind of soured on it. Mina Kimes is a government plant. There you go. Okay, guys, we have gone past 55 minutes. I love having an audience. I love rapping with you guys. If you want to fire me some questions real quick here as I wrap this up, I'm going to do my best. I don't know. I'm going to try to be on earlier, maybe a few minutes earlier on Friday instead of 5, maybe 4:45. I'm going to try just because I know Friday night's a busy night and everyone's going places. Maybe even in some high school games. And so I don't want to keep you from that, but I still want to do the show and wrap with you guys. If you guys have any questions, fire some last questions here, and then we'll wrap this puppy up and get out of Dodge. SM, she wanted the Seahawks to draft Malik Willis with the number 6 pick overall. Or number 5. Really? I didn't see that one. Boy, Malik Willis, really interesting story. His career looks like it's over in Tennessee. He goes to Green Bay. Suddenly he's 12 of 14, 13 of 15 last week, and that's why part of the reason I took the Colts. And happy for him. He's a good kid. You're happy for him. But it reminded me, if you ever seen a movie with John Wayne called The Searchers, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. And don't buy Taiwanese pagers. I don't know. Maybe we can give them to the 49ers. But there's a movie called The Searchers, and there's a line in there where a Comanche raiding party had taken a girl captive, and John Wayne and the guys are chasing them down, and they never stop. And one of the characters says, "Don't they ever stop? They're human men. Don't they ever stop to rest?" And John Wayne says, a cowboy will ride a horse until it drops, and dies. But a Comanche Indian will find that same horse, pick it up, ride it 100 more miles, and then eat it when it's dead. And it's just that they find a way to get something out of something that someone's given up. And that's the Packers, right? You bring Malik Willis in. Everyone's kind of given up on him. And there was talk about him being a first-round guy. I don't know a top 10 guy, but there was talk about him being a first-round guy. And, he just gave them a great gift. What a gift Malik Willis gave the Packers by guiding them, generaling them to that win against Indianapolis, when they could have been 0-2 themselves, right? They could have been 0-2 themselves. So it was nice work by the Packers in the way they brought in Malik Willis. Just like everyone was down on Baker Mayfield. He plays a few games for the Rams, and now he's playing some of the best quarterback in the NFC, right? Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Steeler fan Rob, you never picked Steelers-Chargers game. I thought I did. You're right. I'm going to give my final prediction on Friday. If Justin Herbert plays, I do like the Bolts. Because I think if somehow the Bolts get a 2-possession lead with Harbaugh pounding the ball, J.K. Dobbins staying healthy, I think that really puts you in a position where you have to have Justin Fields pass the ball downfield, and he's averaging 5 yards an attempt. So, and then also, what a matchup. Highsmith on one side, T.J. Watt on the other. You got Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. That's going to be a really interesting matchup. I wish it wasn't a 10 a.m. game. I'm working Sunday morning, so I'm recording it. So no heads up, guys. I don't want any heads up. No, don't text me any scores because I'm going to be recording. But I think the Chargers win this game with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's not there, and it's Easton Stick. Then get out a coin, flip it, and see who wins. All right. Steve Ramirez, Charger wins. Tim Burns, Chargers win. Okay, there we go. Guys, thank you so much for being part of this. Again, thank you for your support with Game Day in the Ram Cave, available on Kindle and at Amazon. Thank you for your support. You don't have to love it. And if you can, leave a review after you've bought it and read it. Thank you so much for your support. All this stuff helps us out because we don't do Patreon and we don't hide behind a paywall. So you really helped me in keep doing my day job. Thanks so much, guys, for clicking on. We'll be sure to talk to you on Friday. God bless. Take care. Go USC in the Big House.